first a little bit about our company. So we are an IT consultancy. We design and build digital products and services for our clients. We are today 54 people. We have been growing very nicely the last 4 years, 9 years in business. And we have offices, headquarters in Helsinki, Finland, one in Khon Kaen, Thailand, one in Saigon, Vietnam, and one in Abu Dhabi. A little bit of detail on what we do. We design, build, and operate a bit complicated mobile apps, web services for our clients, all the way from digital strategy to UX design, UI design, to agile software development, mobile apps, web services, and operations. But that's enough about our company. Today I really wanted to talk about PropTech and how it applies to real estate and construction industries, which is our biggest market. So let's talk about the terms first. PropTech is kind of a new fancy term that came to being a couple of years ago, and it basically is used to describe initiatives that aim to digitalize the real estate and construction industries by using modern user experiences, modern technologies, modern business models. And blockchain obviously became really famous with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, but the underlying idea is that it's a distributed ledger technology for creating tamper-proof public records that are stored in numerous computers at the same time. And how does IWA fit into this business? We are very heavily involved in the PropTech area. We, for example, help the Ministry of Housing in Saudi Arabia in modernizing and digitalizing the housing business over there. We have built the biggest online search portal for commercial real estate in our home market. And when it comes to blockchain, we have also built the biggest Bitcoin exchange in Scandinavia called CoinMotion for our client Brazos. So why do we need to talk about blockchain and real estate and construction industries? The truth is that these businesses are not doing as well as they should. For example, construction industry has had the lowest growth of productivity of any major industry in the last 20 years. There are slow transactions that are causing problems when you need to get paid for the work you did for a construction case, or you need to sell real estate. Slow transactions. There's a lot of distrust going around among stakeholders, and there are lots of centralized and unreliable public records, especially in the developing world. So why is this? It's not because people are not working hard or are not smart, it's because there are underlying structural issues at play. First of all, construction industry is made globally out of a large number of relatively small companies. And any other major industry is typically made by a small number of very big companies. These companies often operate in unrepeatable circumstances. You know, if you have a factory, you can easily optimize what's happening inside. When you build infrastructure and houses, you're always in a new place. That adds a layer of complexity. And it's also very dependent on regulatory, logistical, financial infrastructure that can sometimes work very slowly. And finally, there's a big lack of national and international building codes. So can blockchain really help these problems? Well, let's explore it. So just to recap what blockchain is, it basically allows a decentralized way of storing information in consensus, thus eliminating the need for any central authority. This opens up a lot of opportunities, so let's go through them. So obviously with a 10-minute presentation I can't really go too deeply into this, but I'll just give a little tasters, and we'll be having a booth over there at the EU sector, so please come and talk about this in more detail. So number one, imagine a world where blockchain could be used to have a 100% certain proof of work for any activity that has happened in a real estate or construction project. Every material that has been delivered, every work phase that has been completed would be visible for every party in real time. Big change from what it is today. Second, ownership records. What if every land ownership or apartment ownership or real estate ownership would be stored in a public blockchain that would first of all allow us to do real estate deals without using banks. It would also make sure that people who own something could be sure that nobody can steal it because of missing paperwork or fraudulent paperwork or things that still happen. Faster transactions. If we get the trust with the visibility, then there probably wouldn't be such a big issue with delayed payments. Right now in construction business, a small subcontractor may need to wait for the money that they work they did for 8 months. It can actually squeeze companies out of business. Blockchain can change that. My personal favorite, API economy. Imagine if big companies operating in these businesses would start opening up at least some of their data in a shared marketplace where other companies could tap into this data and maybe learn from mistakes before they do them themselves, or learn about best practices to optimize their own work. And if you could create a tokenized system on top of that, that would allow the companies who start sharing their data to actually get paid for the data. It's a big kind of a dream, considering that it's a very siloed and compartmentalized business, but that's still something to aim for. And finally, crowdfunding. Today, real estate investment is mostly for banks, wealthy individuals, big organizations. What if we build a blockchain-based crowdfunding that would allow anybody with a little bit of money to start investing in real estate? Things to keep in mind. We tend, as human beings, always overestimate the short-term impact of technology and underestimate the long-term impact. I think nothing is more true than in blockchain. I think it's going to take decades before we see the huge impact of blockchain, but it still means that we can start today. And typically the best way to start is to find a small group of stakeholders that are currently doing business every day with inefficient methodology, manual work, paperwork, and implement blockchain there, learn from that, and then start building outwards. But also, we are often asked to build blockchain-based solutions when there's actually no need. So when we take a deeper look at the problem, we say, hey, cool idea, but you can actually build this with just a normal good database. So blockchain is not an end goal. It's an underlying technology that, if used well in the right place at the right time, can do a lot of good. So to conclude, I think blockchain can make any construction or real estate project more transparent, more safe, more cheap, more fast, if it's applied the right way. Finally, I think blockchain is one of the best hopes for the construction and real estate industries to let go of the slightly inefficient past and start moving towards a more efficient, wonderful future. But it will take time. Thank you very much.